Peace and blessings, everybody. This is Karev from Heritage Hip Hop, and we would like to welcome you to the first episode of the Heritage Hip Hop Podcast. This show, we are sitting down with Al from Crime Faces. And if you do not know what Crime Faces is a movement coming out of New York State that gives commentary over hood videos, that teaches a lesson and also gives you comedy to help you get the message. Crime Faces is on Instagram, YouTube, and all over social media, and they gave us some time to sit down and pick their brains about who they are and what their movement is. So for everybody out there, we hope you like this episode. If you would like to get on a future episode of Heritage Hip Hop, all you have to do is contact us at heritagehiphop@gmail.com. You could join our website, www.heritagehiphop.com, to see more. You can follow us on all social medias, and without further ado, we would like to bring you this classic episode. Thank you for listening, and tune in for more. Peace. Thank you for coming to Heritage Hip Hop. I respect the fact you gave me the opportunity to get to interview you. I'm going to ask you, what is Crime Faces?
All right, Crime Faces is the name of the brand that we're trying to create. Well, it's already created, but it's the name of the brand. It's the name of the company. It's going to be sort of like an umbrella of a company that does assortment of different things. It's an entertainment company. We're going to do comedy, obviously. My voice is on the forefront of that as the comedy, but we also have a team behind us that we're going to be doing documentaries, which we already filmed a few. We're teaming up with a couple other media companies, and we're going to be doing different documentaries. There's a clothing line. There's a podcast on the way. So Crime Faces is basically a brand.
Branding is very important because people want to know who they're talking to and who they're interacting with. Who is the reporter and the voice of Crime Faces? And what is the movement that this page and this brand is going to represent?
Okay, the reporter is me. I'm Al from Crime Faces. They call me Al Cass. I'm the reporter for that. I'm the actual voice of it. I do voiceover work. I'm doing comedy work as well. And the brand and the company, it's a street company per se. You could call it that. But we feel like everybody's been a real tough lately. Everybody's a little too tough. And if you from the street and you know street guys, everybody likes to laugh. And we're just trying to lighten the tone around town. Everything is street. Everything is inspired by, people in the street, New York City, Brooklyn, Bronx. Everybody's affiliated with us. And they're all street guys. And it's just people are trying to laugh. We're trying to lighten things up around town. That's basically what it is. But still keeping the culture and still, we're going to bring you a lot of stories of the street, a lot of stories from the hood, a lot of stories from different people with all different voices and all different stories. It's a New York City, it's based in New York City, but we're willing to go anywhere. But it's a New York City company. It's a street company.
Culture is the derivative of what hip hop really is. And being that we're Heritage Hip Hop, we always salute our people who are ground level, while everybody focuses on the mainstream. The streets and real life is what gives hip hop its flavor. Now, being that you're doing a commentary, is commentary, you think, the new wave of videos and how people can break it into the social media world today using their voices as a message and as entertainment?
I definitely think commentary is a good way to get the message across. Simply because if you look at it, what's going on, a lot of things on Instagram, a lot of things on online, period, a lot of things that get attention are these videos, these funny videos, these fight videos, and that content's never going to run out. So if there's a way that I could project a message while still garnering their attention through these videos that people are watching anyway, they're already watching it. So things like this has never been done before. So you're going to watch something, but then I'm going to be able to talk to you while you're watching it. I crack a few jokes to get your attention, but then I can push a message. And if you listen to my videos, you'll hear hip hop inside of my videos. A couple of my videos, I started with Fat cop, fat cop, fat cop, fat cop. You know where that's from. I'm hip hop all the way. I'm a hip hop historian. I know hip hop inside and out. But like I said, it's a new angle. It's a different angle. Just it's an internet angle. It's a current angle. You know what I mean? It's not. It's no longer breakdancing, graffiti, rapping. There's a new angle. It's the internet, and the internet is a lot of videos and commentary, and just it's a different angle to still push the same culture.
I, for one, am a fan of Crime Faces. So yes, I hear the comedy, and I do hear the hip hop that's in the videos because the videos are awesome. But one thing I will say is that people are inspired to take the actions that make these videos great. Even the video that was done with the people diving in the water, and you talking about being of your age, not being young, because young people do the dumbest shit. What makes you think what do you think inspires people to do the actions that you're reporting and commenting on? And not only that, what inspired you to really go to the next level with this and do the commentary over the actions and bring the streets a new light instead of just being bad news, being something that can be used to give a message and to entertain?
Thank you, man. Thank you for your kind words. But the answer really is shit didn't really change. You know what I mean? It's still the same concepts. It's just years and years later, and the it's just the internet is out now. People are still looking for love. People are still in the dating scene, this and that. So, like for instance, the people jumping in the water. You know, back in the day, you know what it was. You go on a date, is everything is local. Didn't nobody had any money, this and that. But now when you're on the internet, if you're a pretty girl on the internet, you're getting hit up by 20, 30, 40, 50 guys. Now these guys are taking you skydiving, they're taking you here, they're taking you there. So now there's a lot of competition in the dating game. You got to be on the ball. Now, I'm just observant of all of this. I observe a lot of things. I see what drives people. I watch behaviors. I watch the reason why they do certain things. And I just wanted to just point out, like, yo, people, they were doing stupid shit, but people are still doing stupid shit today. And is the way society has changed and everything is about money and everything is shallow. It's about what you wear and what you drive and this and that. People are lost, like who they are. Like, you know what I mean? They're not really people anymore. It's just what can you do or who you are, how many followers you are. So these are just things that I'm pointing out. I'm just trying to push a message, like, to get back to reality here. You know what I mean? People like to laugh. The streets is not even back in the day, even in the 90s, when I was growing up in the 90s, the streets, yeah, they were bad or whatever. People were doing bad shit, but we were always laughing. We were always cracking jokes. Everybody was always laughing. So everybody likes to laugh. No matter how tough you are, no matter how gangster you are, you still like to laugh. The streets still like to laugh. I got guys around me. Some guys did 20, 30 years in prison. Excuse me. They did 20, 30 years in prison. These are hardcore, cold guys. But why do I have them cracking up laughing? I can make them laugh. They're cracking up laughing because everybody likes to laugh. Everybody don't want to be tough all the time. You know what I mean? So that's what inspired me to do it. People are always gonna do dumb shit. I'm never gonna run out of content, but that's what inspired me to do it because I just think you could bring people together through laughter and humor. Everybody likes to laugh. Laugh at yourself. Laugh at each other. It's all good. Stop getting offended. Stop being so sensitive, and we could all get along that way.
That's a good point because I think the internet has made a lot of tough guys, and the internet made a lot of people who were considered regular back in the day superstars, and they're not really living up to their true potential. They're living up a facade. But being that you do this, you have a level of success because you're exposing people's glass jaws and people's false sense of reality as well. If you could tell anyone I told you so, who would it be and why would you do it? And would you use your videos to do it?
Yeah, we could use hip hop to answer this question. You could look at 6ix9ine. 6ix9ine and what he did. What happened with him was he's just a little kid from the street and from Bushwick, and he got caught up with real street dudes, these blood dudes from over there, and they came up with an idea how to make some money. and how to, we're gonna make a character, we're gonna dress him up, we're gonna have him talk the craziest stuff. We'll put the gang behind him, we'll make him look really, really hood, and we'll market him to America, and people will buy it as long as the songs are catchy, and the lyrics were bullshit. You know what I mean? His lyrics was bullshit. He just had a couple of decent beats, and he said some sing-songy, catchy stuff. And as long as you make it look like the streets are behind you, people are gonna believe you. And that's been happening forever anyway, through all hip hop. There's a lot of rappers from back in the day that I know stories about, that they wasn't what they were portraying to be. It's just, they didn't get caught out there. They took care of enough people, or you know what I mean. They spread their money around. They did the right thing. They got extorted. A lot of people got extorted. So now the internet is just, everything is on camera. Once again, everything is out there. So now you got the police, the hip hop police. They're watching everything. Rappers were telling him, look, it's going to happen. They're going to come and get you. They're going to come and get you. He's on video saying this, saying that, waving a red flag, driving through Brooklyn in a truck that's dressed in a red bandana, paint job. You know what I mean? It's just people put him up to it. They just didn't think that they were going to go down for it. I guess they didn't know he was going to rat. But come on. You know what I mean? This is street shit. And he ain't no real street guy. You know what I mean? He's just a little kid from the street. I would say, when it comes to somebody facing 20 years in jail, 99, maybe 99.9% of these rappers are going to talk. 99. You know what I mean? There's probably a small percentage of people that would stand up if they were facing 20, 25, 28 years. You know what I mean? So a lot of this, people take this as real life, and it's not real life. I know a lot of people, I heard a lot of stories about real life stuff, and that's why I'm trying to lighten things up. Some people are throwing their lives away over this for a couple dollars, some fame, some girls, and 6ix9ine, he can't walk the street no more. He's gonna get out. He's gonna get out. He told on everybody, but that's it. Now he's living in his own jail for the rest of his life. He's known as a rat.
We know ratting is seen as one of the worst crimes a person could do. That's an unwritten rule. We say snitches get stitches, rats get killed, right? And your commentary doesn't really highlight that, but it does show that the streets have a rough side and is not to be played with. What message do you want to give to your audience? How do you describe your technique of giving the message? You already use comedy, and comedy can heal, and comedy can help us realize that there are a lot of wrongs that we do in our own lives. Why is that technique that you use why is the technique that you use work so well when trying to give the message as well as entertain?
Because the topics that I'm covering, and that I will be covering also, they're prevalent. They're still, they still mean something. So like, my videos is all you see right now. You see 60-second videos on Instagram, but it's all leading into what is more to come. It's leading into my podcast, which I will be able to elaborate more on a lot of things. But I think comedy is good because comedy gets the message out, and I could pretty much express myself however I want. And at the end, I could just say, I was just playing. But I'm saying, you know what I'm saying? It's it's like when you drunk, the truth comes out. But then the next day you tell them, I was drinking, I didn't mean it. But you meant a little bit of it. You meant something. It came from somewhere. So like the comedy that I'm doing, I'm trying to do my own level of comedy. Now, I don't know if you heard, Bill Burr had mentioned me. Bill Burr, the comedian, he had mentioned me on his podcast, and I got a lot of people responding to me off of that. My followers doubled in like 5 days. What he pointed out was what I was trying to do, and I wasn't even sure if people were getting it. And he was saying is the comedy that I'm doing, it's not just on the front face. There's layers to it. If you listen to it, if you run it back once, you run it back twice, you run it back 3 times, you hear a few more things each time you hear it. There's layers to it, and there's little hidden messages in it. So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to do comedy for smart people. You know what I'm saying? Like, a smarter comedy where people are smart. People are not dumb. We dumb down to laugh. You know what I mean? There's a lot of goofy comedy out there, and that shit is funny. It's cool. It makes me laugh too. But I don't want to be dumbed down all the time. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to make a more intellectual comedy, you know what I mean, for smart people, because I think people in general, people are smart, but we dumb down when we want to laugh, and we don't have to do that. And if you have a different message in there where you found a balance to push a joke or just say some funny shit, have somebody laughing, once I get you laughing, the next thing out of my mouth could be a point I'm trying to make. But once you started laughing at what I'm saying, I got your attention. I got your trust a little bit. So now when I say something, you're open to hear what I have to say. You know what I mean? It's a tool. The comedy's a tool to get you to, why the hell am I listening to you? Why the hell would I listen to what you have to say? But if I get you to laugh, you'd be like, yo, this dude's funny. I find that funny too. Oh shit, we have something in common or whatever. Then I could say something and maybe I could get it across to you and maybe you'll listen a little bit better. You know what I mean? So that's the point I was trying to do with my comedy. That's the style that I was trying to do. It's comedy for smarter people. We don't have to dumb down all the time.
Dave Chappelle does the same thing. And as you see with his new comedy special, Sticks and Stones, people are really starting to see that Dave Chappelle's satire is more genius than it is shock value. You know what I'm saying? Even Boondocks was more genius than it was shock value. And just like we look for our entertainment to make us happy, we also use our entertainment to make us cry, make us laugh, and make us see the bigger picture. You know, that's what Sports Center did for us with sports. Stuart Scott made us laugh. He made us cry. And even when he passed away, sports was never the same. I ask you, do you consider yourself the hood Sports Center or a crime version of Sports Center? Do you see yourself as giving commentary not only to entertain and teach, but you're giving it to give people something new that they never knew they wanted, but they do need?
I just wanted to touch on the snitching thing that you said before real quick, because I know I didn't answer it in the last question. But the snitching thing, I stayed off of that as of right now on the Instagram, because that's more so something that I'm going into on the podcast and the documentary. The documentary I'm filming right now is about Mario Machete from Bushwick, Brooklyn. I have exclusive rights to that story, so nobody could touch it. It's the story of Mario Machete. He went away in 1986 for 27 years for a murder he did not do. He got ratted on. He got snitched. He got told on. And the story goes, the guy that set him up was a rapper by the name of Bushwick Bill. That'll all come out later. I have paperwork. I have witnesses. I have everybody on that story. That guy stood for 27 years for a murder that he didn't commit. He's out now. But while he was in jail, he was what they call a rat hunter. That's a prison gang called the Rat Hunters. It's well known inside the prison system. He's now retired. He doesn't deal with that anymore. But Rat Hunter, so the whole rat snitch thing is a very sensitive topic with the Crime Faces brand and the Crime Faces name, but that'll all be addressed in the future. But as far as your other question about the Sports Center, the Hood Sports Center, it's not that, yes, and you're right, Chappelle does do that. Chappelle is a genius. That's why he's on a different level. But as far as like making something that people need or they didn't know they needed or this and that, I feel like the comedy I have insight that a lot of people don't have. I have insight. Right now, I live in Staten Island, but I've been all over New York City. I've been Brooklyn, Bronx, here, there. I've been in circles that people couldn't imagine. So I have insights of all different circles, with Puerto Ricans, with blacks, with Italians, with Albanians, with Irishmen. A lot of people don't have or aren't as well-rounded as I am and the insight that I've seen. So I felt like the reason why I did it was I have insight. I have jokes that people don't know. Dave Chappelle don't know the jokes I know. You know what I mean? He didn't see the inside scoops that I've seen throughout my life, and the people that, I've seen people cry. I've seen white people cry. I've seen black people cry. I've seen white people fight, black people fight, white people laugh, black people laugh, and over the things they cried about, over the things they fought about, over the things they laughed about. I've seen a lot of insightful things that people didn't see. So I felt like I just wanted to get it out there to explain to people, like, even though we're different, there's a lot of things that make us alike. Like we all laugh, we all cry, we all fight, we all don't like crime. You know what I'm saying? We don't want bad things to happen to us. We all love our families. So there's a lot of similarities with a lot of us, and there's a lot of separation going on. And I just felt like I could do something about it. You know, I could join people together. If you look at my page or you look at my followers, there's a vast variety of people. There's 70-year-old, I guess they're Irish couple from California that follows me. Then there's straight up goons from East New York that follow me. There's skateboarders from California that follow me. There's Puerto Rican Latin Kings and blood members. Why are all these people following me? Why is this vast majority following me? If you look at a lot of the street pages, the hood pages, it just be hood dudes and hood chicks following those pages. It don't be you. My audience is crazy, and that's why I did it, and that's what I hit on, and it's actually what I set out to do is actually working. So that's why I just want to keep going, because I think I could paint a bigger picture for people to see than what they see now.
Salute to you for finding that lane, because that's what hip hop is. Finding your niche, finding your lane, and running with it and making a difference in the world, because you allowed your voice to make change. But for all the fans that you have, they all love you and they love the page for a certain reason. The videos are tremendous, and the night that you shot the video, your commentary makes the video more believable than what it is. So let me ask you this. What has been the best response to a video that you've done? And what is your favorite video of something that you have done as well?
That's an easy question. The one that I got the most response was the one that Bill Burr mentioned on his podcast. And it actually got taken down off of my main page, but it's on my Crime Faces X page. It's still up there, and it's a private page because I'm hiding it, because it was such a good hit. That was a nice hit. Everybody likes it. And that was the one with the naked Chinese guy was fighting the black dude in front of, I guess, a Chinese restaurant. But the guy was completely naked. And the black dude is trying to fight him, but you could tell he doesn't want to get close to him. So, and the naked Chinese dude is, charging straight at him, but he's completely butt naked. You don't want to fight nobody that's completely butt naked. So that was probably my best video where it got the most response and it led to the most exposure. But probably my personal favorite video, that would be one of them, the naked Chinese guy. But another one is just like the one where the girl's hanging out the window, and I did like Dear Side Chick. It was more like a love poem to a side chick. And I just put it together, and it was sort of like a freestyle. Like I don't write none of it. I don't write any of it. It's a freestyle. Sometimes I do 2 or 3 takes, maybe sometimes like 4 or 5 takes. But like on that particular one, it was like a poem. And I just kept flowing with the poem. Dear side chick, I love you. I'm going to leave my wife soon. Don't worry, blah, blah, blah. And that was my favorite one, because to me, it was like a poem, and it came off good. And then people responded to it. A lot of followers were loving it. They were commenting. It got a lot of attention from a lot of people. And then all of a sudden people were saying, wow, that's poetry. That's poetry. So I'm sitting there talking shit, talking slick on videos. I don't think it's nothing, people are hearing it as poetry. So now that made me think, wow, that's pretty good. It was actually pretty good writing, I guess. Thinking. I didn't write it. So I'm proud of that one. So that's pretty much, that's my 2 favorite ones.
So now that you picked your favorite, we know that your goal is to do documentaries, do movies, do street tales, give positive messages, and give insight from the street, from inside the walls to outside in civilian life. What do you want to take your brand wholly? Do you want to be a movie company, a media company? And what is going to be the overall effect that Crime Faces has on the world since it's been created?
I want the ultimate goal is for Crown Faces to get into media, whatever it may be, whether if it's on television, if it's on movies, if it's a sitcom, whatever it is. I just want to get the Crown Faces flavor onto something where we could push the flavor out there, the street shit with the comedy shit to lighten the tone on what's going on. So anything that Crown Faces touches, it's gonna be different. It's gonna be fresh. It's gonna be new. So wherever it takes us, whether it takes us to television, movies, uh, YouTube, where Netflix, wherever it takes us, it's gonna have that flavor on it. It has its own flavor. Crown Faces has its own flavor. So that's what I want to bring it to. The ultimate goal, I would say, if I had to just say one, it would just be, I guess, comedy. The comedy would be the ultimate goal because comedy, I feel, comedy is timeless. The documentaries, those are like pieces of art. So a documentary, I'm not gonna sit here and make 150 documentaries. They're pieces of art. So if I could get my hands into a few of them and make a nice couple pieces of art, they're like, they're creations from under the Crown Faces umbrella, which I could be proud of. But ultimately, the comedy is probably gonna, you know, keep on. It could do Crown Faces. I could do a sitcom. I could do anything. I could do anything with that flavor, with the street, but with the comedy, with the humor, with that flavor, and spreading the message that we're trying to spread. It's like it's more like to unify, and that's the ultimate goal, just to unify through the humor, through the comedy, and yes, whatever media outlet would fit the best is where we would go.
Well, I thank you for everything that you've told me. Social media is making the world smaller and bigger at the same time, where people get inspired and want to do something similar, if not their own thing, using the techniques and skills that you have. Do you have any advice for anyone who's looking into doing voiceovers or starting their own video feed?
Yeah, advice. It might sound cliche, but advice would be you gotta just do what you're good at and do what you do best and do what you know. Because when I came into this, I started it actually doing it on a more serious note, more like a reporter. And I was trying to make it more, just clean and the speaking clean and writing clean like a reporter. And it was working, but I got bored of it. So once I started to say, you know what, I'm just gonna flip it to the way I like to do it, and I'm gonna talk about the things that I know about. Once I started doing what, just being me and just going, that's where the response came. That's when it came. So that's what it is. You gotta just figure out what you want to do, and then do it and be yourself, and then just do it, man, consistent though. You can't, even if you get bored, you shouldn't get bored if you like to do it. But even if you don't want to do it no more, just keep doing it. You got to keep doing it and keep trying to recreate another angle. And that's what I kept doing. I was thinking of how to improve it. I'll improve it this way. I do this, I do this, I do that. And I just, eventually I started getting better. Well, people were saying I was getting better. So that's how I knew I was, on the right path. So then that's it. I was just being myself and then just go, go, go. And that's it. That's the formula.
Well, shout out to you, man. Heritage Hip Hop supports the real, and we will support Crown Faces. We're looking to get some apparel. We're looking to post this and make successes of both of our brands. So before we close out this interview, give your shout outs, plug yourself, and let the people know what's going on next and why they should subscribe to you and where to find your brand.
Yeah, man, I want to thank you. I want to give a shout out to Heritage Hip Hop. Thank you for this interview. You guys are very professional, and Crown Faces stands behind you guys. I support you guys, and I wish you guys much success. And as far as plugging us, you can see everything on Instagram at Crime Faces. That's where all the updates are going to be. That's where all the information is going to be at. We are on YouTube right now. We're on Twitter. We're on Facebook. But everything is going to solely really be announced through Instagram. So what's next up is the podcast. We're recording it this week. My guys are going to be on there. Sunset Will, Puerto Rican from Sunset Park, Brooklyn. My other man, Brother Cuz, he's from Flatbush. He going to be on there. Those are my co-hosts. And we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff. We're going to be talking about sports. We're going to be talking about race, relationships, women, the streets, the snitches, drugs, just all different things. Stories. I got a million stories I want to tell everybody. And that's what's next for us, the podcast. So it's just expansion. That's what we're trying to do. Expansion. And I got y'all on the apparel, and I appreciate everything that y'all doing. And I appreciate your brand. And thank you, man. We'll be in touch.
All right, that's what's up. So to everybody out there, we want to say peace. Thank you for listening. And make sure you subscribe to Heritage Hip Hop on all social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Holliness, Facebook. Also, look for on Tumblr. Also, look for Fatty's Place. We got heritagehiphop.com. And more importantly, we partners with Crime Faces. Because when they succeed, we all succeed. So everybody out there, peace. Thank you. And we'll see you later.